Harif as well. Of course, still very top tier in terms of the meta. Now, looking at the bans coming through, we identified yesterday that Marcel is going to be a problem. But, however, the top tier teams, Team Philippines, Team Indonesia, they didn't really care too much about the Marcel. And feels like they know their way around the Marcel because they've been playing it so much in their region. But a lot of these newer teams, they need to learn how to play against the Marcel as well. Now, the Guinevere, the Eve, Freya, Zusin, and Yuzong ban as well.
And an immediate pickup coming in from the side of United Arab Emirates. From now on, we will call them UAE for the ease of communication. The UAE will go for a pickup on the side of Baxia. So that is going to enable them with really fast communication, or rather a really fast rotation all across the map. However, that will also mean that they will be given away that Pakido early game dominance in the XP lane, which is something that UAE definitely need to start to identify. How do they want to settle this Pakido down and keep him in lane?
Yeah, Pakido currently right now sitting on that EXP lane. It is just extremely dominant in terms of getting that macro pressure and also the threat in the jungle, right? When you put him into a bush anywhere, I'm not saying he's a jungle hero, I'm saying that when he's in that bush, you don't want to invade the enemy jungle. You can't play towards the other side of the map, especially if you're alone. And now going for the Harif as well, so Team Iran looks like they're going for the best of both worlds here.
Yep, so they have very strong lane presence coming in from both sides. Gold lane and XP. It's now up to UAE to identify how do they get themselves a win on both of these aspects. And if they don't, what do they want to do here? Perhaps now they have the opportunity to kind of take a look at their mid lane. Perhaps it will help them better understand, okay, maybe we take down the mid lane, we have better priority in mid lane, that will give us more of an arm extension where we can move on to the XP or gold depending on what's available to us.
Wait a minute, this is an Esmeralda in the top 3 picks coming out from the side of Team UAE. Okay, I do see the vision here. Esmeralda takes away the shield value from the Pakido and also the Harif, but you do need a way to lock them down because as a Pakido and Harif, you see an Esmeralda coming. What do? You just run away, right? You don't really need to be in the presence of the Esmeralda. And if they want to go for that macro gameplay, Team Iran, they can essentially build into that mobility and try and ban out the control heroes that possibly might be coming, which is most likely going to be a Beleric and also something like a Grok as well.
So the Valentina being picked up from the side of Iran very likely is just a way to echo towards a UAE that, look, you got a way to shred tanks, we got a way to shred tanks as well. With the Mystic Gush that's being stolen away, Esmeralda and Baxia will undoubtedly have a little bit of an issue when it comes down to team fights in general. But the way that Iran have drafted their first 3 picks really just shift themselves towards a way whereby they kind of want to play for team fights. Doesn't necessarily have to play by aerial denial, however, this can actually go towards a front-to-back form of composition. So they definitely need more ways to be able to kind of hold down the fort in the front lines a little bit to drag on time as much as possible.
Good Claude ban coming out from the side of Team Iran. The Harif being picked up. The Claude really deals very well with the Harif, especially in that mid stage towards that later stage of the game where the Blazing Duet is able to just shut down the Harif before he even enters his own Dominance Force, right? Now, the Suyo ban coming out from the side of Team UAE, this is kind of suspect because I would say that Suyo is in a weird place right now where he is good, but you have to pair him with very high damaging heroes, and also Suyo does have a lot of damage output, but it's still a glass cannon, right? So teams have found out how to play against the Suyo. Generally, you want to have the lockdown as much as possible. So prioritizing a ban here on the Suyo, I would say, is still a weird decision. There are crazier heroes that you should be banning out right now for the side of Team Iran, where they still have the Fredrin available if they want to go for that utility jungle. If they want to go for a fast jungle clear, they don't have the Guinevere available, however.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Personally, I do want to look more into utility because right now, Paquito, sure, Paquito can kind of deal with himself and Harif can also deal with himself. They are really good in their own respective lanes, but come out of that, break them out of that shell when we are trying to play for team fight scenarios. That is where things will start to get a little bit shaky because they don't really have much to work with. A Suyo in this case would not give any form of utility. It just brings on to a lot more firepower, which the team already has a lot of.
Yeah, and the 1-2 piece coming out, it's going to be the Cho and the Paquito. So we got both fighters, one good on the feet, one good with the hands. So that's going to be crazy combinations coming out from the side of Team Iran. And for the side of Team UAE, right, they can potentially look towards a Kalea, especially against the Cho, and we do know how strong the Kalea is. And I can't believe it slipped the entirety of the pool right now. If you think about strong priority picks, old school roamers such as Chip and Kalea are still available, right? That shortcut into the Esmeralda, into the Mystic Gush, that could be a combination, that could be a way into these fights.
This might be a game for UAE to want to play over to the late stages of the game. As such, getting a Moskov is great. However, the Estes is not what I was expecting.
Oh, no.
Ube, huh?
Oh, man. Estes Esmeralda? This is ranked. This is ranked. This is ranked. I mean, for the side of Team UAE, I gotta say, it's a very good strategy when it comes down to sustain, having the Estes and the Esmeralda, very good beefy front line, Moskov from the back line. It works on paper, right? When your enemy team isn't organized. Now, for Team Iran, if they play their cards correctly, right? All they need to do is make sure they don't run towards the Estes. If the Estes ultimate is up, just don't take the fight. Every single one of them has the mobility to disengage, right? If you take a look at Team Iran, every single one of them can just jump away. They can go through obstacles, they can go through walls. Every single one of them can disengage. And now the problem is, how does Team UAE lock them down?
Now, I think that this is a very interesting matchup coming in for UAE. I actually, on the contrary, kind of like the Estes. Now, the reason why I say that is because currently Team Iran, they don't have a way to properly poke. One of the best ways that they can poke is actually stealing the Mystic Gush and go for the poke and kind of force a way for Estes to pop his ultimate. Other than that, Iran can go for a bit of a punch and a kick and all the kind of jazz. Most of that is actually up onto Abu Fazl. He has to go for the assassination attempt onto the Estes. He don't have to kill him, he just have to force the ultimate usage. From that point on, things will be great. Because the thing about Amirali playing as the Harif is that he's on a timer. When you bring out the Zaman Force, you actually have a timer within of the Zaman Force that you need to take everyone down and do as much as you can. With the Estes, with the Baxia, with the Esmeralda, it extends an overall team fight timing, which makes things a lot more difficult for a Harif to close things out.
Yeah, but I feel that this is only in a 5v5 case,
Only
right?
in a 5v5.
You have a Paquito, you have a Cho, you don't take 5v5s. You don't take 5v5s at all, right? You want to burst people down, make it a 4v5 before the fight even starts. You want to get people with the Way of the Dragon, make it a disadvantage battle for Team UAE as much as possible. If you're taking 5v5s as Team Iran, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. You have the Zayman's Force, yes, but that Zayman's Force is a scam. It's not there to take the team fights. It's there to disengage. It's there to disengage for sure.
So at least for the side of Team Iran, they have their very specific, or rather, they have their win condition, and that is to pick off. That's the main name of the game. For the side of UAE, they want to huddle up together, they want to buy time, they want to do containment, they want to ensure that they will literally just draft over to the late stages of the game to enable the Moskov as much as possible. So the question is, which team will be able to execute their own game plan? Which team will find it a little bit difficult to play? That is ultimately the question. So let's take this moment in time and take a look at the side lanes first. Gold lane versus gold lane, XP lane versus XP. When it comes down to Harif versus the Moskov, Harif always have got a lane priority because of the fact that he's got good wave clear and he's got good pokes coming in from the synchro-vision. Every dashes gives him shield, which is something that the Moskov would not be able to deal with exceptionally. Now, number 2, XP lane. When we are looking at the Esmeralda versus the Paquito, no way the Paquito is going to get very easy kills off of the Esmeralda, but neither is the Esmeralda going to sustain all the way. But the main thing is, it's all about the wave clear. Paquito should still be able to wave clear faster than the Esmeralda, unless the Paquito constantly want to go for the kill.
Yeah, and definitely, I mean, for that case, it is going to be that lane clear where the lane priority is definitely towards the side of Team Iran, right?
Yes.
When you have an Estes, your mid lane clear is not that good. Despite the fact that you have a Gord, yes, but the harass factor, you are relying a lot on the Baxia, as we see right here, and Elmerzi has to come in to help out with that mid lane priority. Meanwhile, Madi, you can just focus on that creep wave, get that level 4 in time, especially on a lower clearing speed hero such as Fredrin. You want to get that level 4 as fast as possible.
Now, of course, with them needing the Boxer to help out in the middle lane every now and then, I think that will only come in within the first few periods of time. However, as we mentioned before, whenever you have an enchanted support, that means that you would generally lose control of your own jungle. But it's not that big of a deal, because right now their opponent is a Fredrin, not someone that is super oppressive in the jungle, such as a Nolan or perhaps even a Suyo, for example, which actually really explains why they have decided to take away the Suyo here.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a huge problem here, right? The Mystic Gush has to get a burst. If not, there's no way to lock them down to stay in that range of the Mystic Gush as well. Generally, we see a Bella Rig. Generally, we see something like the lines of maybe even a Tigreal just to keep them there. But now they don't have any way to do so. And that Baxia stun will be that main reliance factor. Now with the first turtle bite being taken, Madi does get the retribution off. So far, Mystic Gush being used in that back line, but it's currently not doing enough damage. Elmerzi does eventually go down, and that will be first blood for Team Iran so far.
Team Iran having a great start right now, especially being able to take down them one and only front liner being their Baxia. But hold on a second, middle lane Ali seems like he's looking at something.
Yeah, Mystic Gush now eventually up as well. Now with the Spear of Destruction jump, Saeed does find a kill on the opposite side. Team UAE, they are going on the offensive here, but Appraisal's Wrath is available for Madi, and Madi is still surviving through this, but Saeed finishes him off with the Phantom Step, and Albo Fazl does get the consolation kill. But now for the side of Team Iran, they do have to respond because Saeed, they got 2 pivotal kills.
Yep, seems scrappy, but all in all, the main thing is Saeed. He managed to get kills for himself, and that is funneling that we want to see.
Yeah, now that funneling is going to come through, and I'm surprised Amirali didn't rotate despite the fact that this is expanding rivers.
Yep.
You do have that Daemon's Force available. If Amirali was able to join those team fights, it would have been changing everything. But Amirali might be in a slight bit of a tipple here. Ali comes in for the support, but Elmerzi is here though.
He ran out of mana. That's not something that we hear all very often coming in from a Harif. He ran out of mana to really do anything within of his own Zaman's Force. So it's really unfortunate, but regardless, that is still a Moskov that did a really good job, right? Being able to rotate all the way down to the mid lane and enjoy some of these team fights, gets himself 2 kills. Yes, sure, Amirali managed to, you know, kind of take the lane all by himself. But unfortunately, the only thing that he got out of that was all of that shield plating from the top lane. In fact, not all of them. So all in all, I think the UAE had a way better trade from coming in from their gold leaders.
Yeah, I mean, for Team Iran, they were taking the 5-on-5s, and I don't really feel that they are adjusted to take that 5-on-5, right? Given the fact that they stole the Mystic Gush with an IMU, but that's still not enough in this stage of the game. Now, on the second turtle take, we will have that ability once again. Ali now posturing with the Whale of the Dragon to the side, and the Mystic Gush as well. Abdallah taken out. That's going to be the front liner. One of them is gone. Elmerzi, the only second one. Now, with one well-positioned taunt, Ali and also Madi, they can play around this, but Ali in the back with a concussive blaster ready. Madi does take out the turtle in the end here, but Saeed still dealing good damage. Ali flickers away, and Madi lays down the law with the Appraisal's Wrath, but no one is there. Saeed eventually gets taken down from the side of Amirali.
Unfortunately, a very sacrificial play coming for Elmerzi, as he was really trying to do his very best to kind of take the turtle away from the hands of Team Iran. But in the meantime, the fight was kind of split up in a very difficult spot due to a small little choke point. The main thing is Team Iran, they have a very strong lead when it comes comes down to being able to kind of force everyone aside, they may have used a lot of outwards in order to take Abdallah down, but he is one of the main contingency plan for the team.
Yeah, three-man concealed play towards that bottom side. Team Iran are finding their pace. Now 3,000 gold advantage, right? Slowly starting to build the macro pressure. While all this is happening, you have to realize this is on the back of a Paquito, and this has been happening all the time. And now Almerzi still in slight bit of a tipple, but once again, that Estes healing factor, does it come in clutch here? Because for Team Iran, they've been finding the picks out of the Estes heal zone.
Main thing is we also want to kind of find out if whether the blessing of the Moonlight Goddess is gonna do much for the rest of the team. Oh, okay. Almost seeing something very tricky here, but in fact, it will.
Mystic Gush has been used. Mohammed will not have that ability right now, and now Team Iran, they know that ability is down. They steal the blessing of the Moon Goddess, and solo kill from Amir Ali on the top with a dragon, and into that Appraisal's Wrap. Just a slam down from the side of Team Iran. They're sure giving us a show on the mid lane.
Oh my god. I completely forget you can just steal the blessing of the Moon Goddess. Yes, you can totally steal that. You don't really have to care about a Mystic Gush at this point in time. It's let's just play a healing game right now. They do have a Brethren that allows them to play Upe as well if they really want to.
And now they are diving behind that turret. This might be a mistake coming in from the side of Team Iran. They don't have the sustain to take this. Appraisal's Wrath does bring him back to square. Now Amir Ali, he is going to be posturing here. Does have that Damon's Force. One good one. Might change everything as he takes down Abdallah right now. Damon's Force still there, and he's just tearing through everyone. Saeed goes down as well. Synchro Fissure after Synchro Fissure. Double kill coming out from the side of Amir Ali.
Oh, and even when it comes down to diving under the turret, this is just overkill coming in from Team Iran. And Puria was not even punished from that.
Yeah, I mean, looked like a mistake, but once I saw Amir Ali with the Damon's Force sitting at the back, he's waiting for the perfect time because he's waiting for the heal factor to run out from the side of Team UAE. Yep. And that was just great posturing, right? Once the Damon's Force was used, there was no way to escape coming in from the side of Team UAE.
Those are pretty big plays, all the way from the start to the end. Team Iran really seems like they conducted the entire fight from the start to the end. It feels like they knew exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and they would just do what they could. So just like that, we already have got 8,000 goal lead in favor for Team Iran at 8 minutes. And in a very early game-centric kind of matchup, or a very early game-centric kind of team, what you want to do to win, oh my god, this is Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, Abdallah, I mean, you picked the Esmeralda, and that's the problem with the Esmeralda as well, right? You think the survivability of the Esmeralda is very good, but if, let's say, you face so much oppressive damage as we see Team Iran with an impressive taunt on the 3, Mystic Gush being used on the Mahdi here, he will be just overextending out of his positioning, and Poria will be going down for his troubles as well, and this is kind of a comeback for Team UAE. Don't call it comeback just yet. Abu Fazil still in that push. Oh no, Saeed just gets instantly taken down. Mohammed, he's in trouble as well. This man, this Paquito is so scary to deal with, and this is why he's so oppressive right now.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that a Paquito could do realistically, right? All you need to do is double straight punches and a jab, and you will be able to kill any gold laner. This is the problem when it comes down to giving a Paquito away, but also picking an enchanter support for yourself. You kind of really require that Baxia to go all around the map, which kind of forces the Baxia in a dual role situation. Just for your team to get a lot of that healing factor, your Baxia will be spread out to do a little bit too much, coming in as a jungler and a pseudo roamer, which is really very unfortunate.
Yeah, now great taunt onto 2. Saeed in a lot of trouble. Ali with a flicker forward does get the finish onto Saeed. And now that's all their physical damage gone. Appraisal's Wrap towards the back. Mr. Gush, is it enough for the side of Team UAE? No, it's just to disengage. And Team Iran, they're going to be taking no casualties this time. And Abu Fazil still not showing himself on the map here. They don't want to play towards his top side while this Lord is happening. And look at that. This is all towards the bait. Abu Fazil goes in towards Mohammed. But now the blessing of the Moon Goddess just comes in for Abu Fazil, and he has to escape. Does have the flicker available. Stun following up from the side of Almerzi, and now with the Spirit Destruction back up, Lord still in Iran's favor, but the Zaman Sports and Amirali stands tall throughout all this.
That was a crazy exchange. It really felt as though that UAE was the one that manages to kind of bait Abu Fazl going deep into the fight in order to get an assassination, only to back them up again with the blessing of the Moonlight Goddess. And just like that, you know, we thought that would be a free kill coming in for El Merzi, going in straight to Abu Fazl, but unfortunately, cooldown is over, gave him a jab, gave him a shield, and he got out of that, while El Merzi is the one that overextended in the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good at team fight, we have a Valentina, we can be good at team fight too. Now, with the Mr. Gush being used on that top, do just push out the Lord. Team Iran, they're going for the throat here. Zaman Sports has been used. Whale the Dragon as well into the appraisal strat, and Mahdi just tears down onto the box here. I am the better tank right now as they go for that inhibitor turret on that mid lane.
There is just so much gold lead the Team Iran has, and this is only at 11 minutes into the game, and they have already lost middle lane and the bottom lane inhibitor turret. This cannot get any worse.
13,000 at 11 minutes into the game. Team Iran, they are a different kind of beast here. After the showing coming out from yesterday as well, they show superior drafting skills in terms of just having the team fight capability and the best of both worlds, right? You can see the macro coming out from the side of Paquito, from the opposite side of lane. Amirali just very trustworthy on that gold lane as well. You can expect him to get the items in time.
Yo, but for real, who are they? How are they so strong? I really do want to know, if, to be fairly honest, because right now, they are just showing themselves in a way where UAE is just not a competition at all.
Yeah, UAE, they have a rough draft. I mean, with the Estes, I don't really like this. Into a Valentina, right? Their Blessing of the Moon Goddess can be given. Mystic Gush can be given as well. So not having the ban on the Valentina, the draft itself, I feel it's a very huge error. Now, for the side of Team Iran, they have that Paquito, right? And not even Abdallah can stand up against the punches, the raw damage from the farm coming out from the side of Team Iran right now. Only one inhibitor turret left on the top side. Creep wave now crashing in. Team Iran look for blood here, but 20 seconds away from the Lord. I think they disengage.
Yep, but perhaps Abu Fazl, it might be a little bit deep in, but it's okay. A quick little flicker, go get himself right out of that, which is something that they would absolutely need. Because as you mentioned, the Lord is going to come up in 10 seconds, and that is going to help Team Iran close out the game properly. Yes, they are at 13,000 gold lead, and technically speaking, they can just gatekeep the entirety of UAE from not being able to come out, and they can probably just absolutely destroy them. However, that is also going to be playing within of the UAE's hands, because there is still the Estes, and they gotta have to respect that.
Oh, that was so close to Spirit Destruction coming through, but luckily, Mahdi was on the case with the Lord as well. Now, concealed play coming through from the side of Ali. Wants to go for the Whale Dragon, gets stunned up. Now, Mystic Gush has been used as well. Abu Fazl coming in for the flank positioning, does get spotted out. Now, with that, Zaman Sports has been dropped. Synchro Fishes after Synchro Fishes. Amirali taking so much damage at this point. Amirali still not punished as here as Ali. He's soaking up so much damage, has the immortality. Team Iran, they're gonna wait for the Lord.
There are no ultimates at all from the side of UAE. It will take some time before they will eventually get that back. And in fact, there we go. Mystic Gush as well as Monostamo, they are already available. But unfortunately, the important one, Blessing of Moonlight Goddess, do they have it?
Oh, Zaman Sports has been knocked down, and Amirali dealing so much damage with the help of Abu Fazl. Triple kills so far for the side of the Paquito. That's what you get when you give Team Iran the Paquito.
It is a big mistake of giving the Paquito away to Team Iran. It really enhances their early game gameplay, and it enabled them to just go absolutely ham.
This is just a master class when it comes down to just drafting alone, right? Having that Valentina, having the ability to have the Frederick, the taunt, the capability to jump into the team fight and take a macro battle. If they are losing, everybody can run away because it's just so scary.
This is crazy. crazy. This is really crazy. Team Iran, they knew what they wanted to do all the way from the start to the end. They are dictating every single battle. They are, the way that they move is absolutely phenomenal as well. Although we definitely gonna have to agree, right? UAE at the start of the game, they have enabled that Moskov really early into the game as well.
Yeah.
They want to accelerate his growth, and I see where they're coming from, and I do respect that a lot. However, they have just been outpaced by Team Iran solely because of the sheer power of what, number one, a Paquito is able to bring onto the board, and number two, just how often that Valentina can steal that Mystic Gush, and even if they were to find themselves in a team fight that they don't want to be in, Valentina comes in clutch with that Blessing Moonlight Goddess.
I think it all boils down to the fact that Estes is not good in competitive play at all. Like, Estes is just not good. But Abu Fazil, of course, man of the match, MVP, he did so much on that bottom lane. He was against an Esmeralda. And laning against an Esmeralda